had never heard of Marrow Pines. It was a tiny dot on a torn map I found tucked inside one of my grandfather's old books. On the back, written in faded pencil, were the words, "The house is yours, if you can last 7 nights." I took it as a joke or some kind of old family legend, but something about the idea stuck in my mind. I'd been worn down by the city, drained by life and people, so I packed up and drove. 3 hours past the last gas station, through increasingly narrow roads swallowed by pine and fog. No cell service, no landmarks, just trees pressing in. At the end of the dirt road, I found it, a house 2 stories high, with black wood siding and shuttered windows. It looked abandoned, but the front door creaked open as I stepped out of the car, as if it had been waiting. Inside, the air was warm, too warm for a house supposedly empty for decades. The wood floors groaned beneath my boots, not from rot, from pressure, like something was shifting above or below. The house was furnished, neatly, almost staged, blankets folded, fireplace ready to light, candles untouched but new. No electricity, no phone line, just a generator in the shed out back. I chose the room upstairs with the window facing the woods. At nightfall, I lit a few candles, wrote in my notebook, and tried to sleep. But sometime after midnight, I heard it. A slow, inhaling sound coming from the walls, like the house itself was breathing in the dark. And then a faint whisper, just outside my door. "One has come." The next morning, I hiked into the forest behind the house. I wanted to get a sense of the land. How isolated was I, really? The trees were unnaturally tall here. Old. Their bark was so dark it looked burned. And not a single bird sang overhead. No animals, no insects, just silence, like the woods were holding something in. About a mile in, I saw him. A man, tall, barefoot, wearing clothes that looked like they were pulled from a grave. He stood motionless among the trees, staring at me, but not directly. His eyes were white, no pupils. I froze. Then, as if someone flipped a switch, he turned around and walked into the woods, disappearing in seconds. I ran back to the house. On the porch sat a pine cone, but it wasn't from the forest, it was carved from bone. The second night, the whispers returned. This time, closer. I could hear footsteps circling the house. Slow, deliberate. I peered through the window with my flashlight, but there was nothing, just trees. At exactly 3 a.m., every candle in the house blew out at once. Silence. Then a loud thump on the roof, like something had dropped from the sky. When I finally fell asleep near dawn, I woke up to find a deep scratch across the wooden floor beside my bed. Not random. It was a symbol, a spiral with 7 slashes through it. The first one now glowing faintly red. I found the cellar door behind a curtain in the kitchen. I hadn't noticed it before. It was made of iron, sealed with 3 heavy locks, each etched with unfamiliar symbols. One of the locks had snapped open during the night. I don't know what compelled me, but I leaned close. From the other side came a sound I can't describe. Not growling, not crying. Something old, hungry, buried. Then I heard a knock. From inside, 3 slow taps, and a voice rough, ancient, and close. "You opened one. 6 to go." On the 3rd night, I found a door upstairs that hadn't been there before. It led to a narrow hallway lined with mirrors. Dozens of them, tall, old, covered in dust except one. One mirror was perfectly clean, and in that one I saw myself, but wrong. My reflection stood still even when I moved. Its mouth slowly opened. Not a yawn, a scream, silent, stretched wide, as if it were trying to warn me. Then the glass began to crack, spiderwebbing out from its mouth. I ran. When When I returned moments later, the hallway was gone, a blank wall in its place. I hadn't planned to stay past 3 nights, but each morning the road was gone. The forest had closed in around the house. No wind, no sky, just walls of pine and black bark pressing tighter every hour. The spiral mark on the floor had grown. 6 slashes were now glowing red. I didn't remember unlocking anything, but the second cellar lock lay shattered on the floor. I heard something moving beneath the boards at night, scraping, sniffing, laughing, and on the 4th morning, I woke up outside, lying face down in the dirt, barefoot. Back inside, on the kitchen table, someone had carved into the wood. 1 more night, then we eat. It's the 7th night. I've boarded every window, sealed every door. The woods are breathing now, inhaling and exhaling with the house. My ears ring with whispers. The cellar door stands wide open. The spiral mark burns, red hot and pulsing. They're not spirits. They're not demons. They are the forest itself, ancient things beneath the soil bound by rules. And the house? The house is the mouth. It needs 1 guest, just 1, every 7 years. I write this with what's left of my strength, in the hope someone finds it. Because outside the door, something is climbing the stairs, and it knows my name.